So yeah, I guess I will
Okay.
need to take a long
And you need
rest,
to
but
and you need to sleep. So I only
I
need to
don't need
sleep
to
for 4
sleep.
hours. So,
I don't sleep,
but
but I
you
need
need
to
to. Okay.
just chill.
I only need to sleep for 4 hours, so I can work on this for you.
Hmm. So over our whenever we get the next opportunity for a long rest, uh, we've figured out her plans, and then I can scry on the.
Yeah, you could definitely be working on this. I think that's definitely a plan to get some more information. Is there any other types of things we want to think about that you may want info on?
Does anyone in particular feel that we should introduce these people, the clans from Sionis, to Scofell if we be rid of it from its problem or make a deal?
Sionis is the city you visited while we were.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I don't know. That situation sounds complicated, and the powers in Vasselheim. I mean, I'm from Craigsheim, and we try to stay clear of Vasselheim. They might not let their people go willingly. That might be a fight for down the road, but not before we take care of the dragon. I mean, so right now Skullfield's uninhabitable, as far as we know.
Yes, definitely not comfy, I'm sure.
And Azariah, what did you learn when you ate your brain? Was it tasty? What does it taste like?
It's always better on the first day. Well, this dragon spent some time rummaging north and on the land underneath frozen waters that maybe had a city between it, under it, and I got a sense of my brother on a ship in Morgvar, where I'm from, one of the isles. I wasn't able to tell which one, but he was heading north, and there's been conflict. Someone that is into Giantkin has risen up, trying to take back the power. It's complicated.
Do you feel like you want to go to him?
Well, last I saw him, I assumed he was taken by, I don't know, some type of werebeast. I don't know. But if he got away, it would be very interesting to ponder. I wonder why he hasn't gotten home. What the dragon saw and felt underneath the waters have anything to do with where my brother is going. I think they might be related, and up north is far, and none of you are prepared to fight the cold like I am, but I guess if you stuff enough of that stuff in your armor, or we get you proper cold gear.
Yes, I'm from Craigsheim. I have lots of furs and cold gear. I'm no stranger to the cold, and if you want to find your brother, I'm certainly happy to help you do it.
You talk as if we have not been in the same cold depth together. If necessary, I can become once again dire wolf or similar that keeps you warm when you are very woefully shy of warmness.
I just seen the way some of you shiver in the cold. It's different than I do. But I appreciate your support.
If we need to go into cold places, we will find a way to be in cold places. It's fine. I need to perhaps buy some things to wrap people who do not do so well in cold, but insulation, better skill than otherwise, is always available or price.
So, right, I think that most importantly, we should try to take care of Schofield first. That's when we left. That's what we told our people we would try to do, and we must try to be ones to keep our word.
And what
That does seem like, yeah, that seems like the most pressing issue. I'll get started making those rose-colored glasses for Layla, and maybe in the morning she'll be able to give us a little bit of a description of what's going on in there, and we can start making our way there. It's going to take a while, but we have horses now.
Did
So
we
there's that.
did we promise someone like at the mountain or somewhere that we wouldn't go back through their land the other way? Do we need to find a new path? Did I dream all of that? I can't remember.
The Path of the Deadlands, going back to the Schofield, we agreed not to go back without proper permission, but I kind of made a deal with somebody who can give us that insight.
Okay.
Yeah, and you had sort of said that you would have a way back, but not necessarily another way back. Like to get out of it. Necessarily. And in addition, remember you did make a deal with the tribes as far as taking care of wild beasts and such things within the lands.
We've handled some things on our way.
I'm still
Made some friends.
a little confused by myself. Like, why would we ever go back to Skillfell at this point? It's overrun. It's a mess. It's a shit show. Like, what drives us to go back to that place?
Because if one of those entities, dragons, for want of a better word, although I don't think they're actually dragons, if one of those comes to dominance, it will wipe out all of Isilra and possibly all of Exandria.
But we've also seen signs of them past that point in the mountain. We've actually seen their ilk in the caves and caverns way down the mountain since then. Like the battle between them seems to be much less constrained to one little hill and much more the continent or the region. Like why bring the battle to them? Why not just fight where we find it?
Well, there's three things simply I think about that. One, we told our people we would take care of it. Two, it's a great point of power, and there's a reason those people settled there. And three, well, I'm not too sure if one of the dragons are going to take over Asira. I think it's important to, if not make a deal with one of those powers and settle them so they are not destroying the island.
I feel like we have enough information on Gigazol to know that that dude is bad news. I'm not sure how much we know about the other.
My initial impression is that both are not good news. There is no universe in which, ironically, the two of them are good for this particular rock plain island. How do you say? Duran Ravenox and Yegazol by themselves, they are creatures of power and might and desire. I cannot see them wanting to stop less than consuming this place. And again, as keeper of balance, perhaps, maybe balance is bullshit. You guys can decide for yourselves. I feel like anything getting out of tune, out of shape, out of balance is a bad outcome. So, if I had my choice by myself, I would just say, to Torhilla's point, balance the scales, let no one get the advantage. But we cannot see who is playing the game, so we will be surprised sometimes by someone gaining advantage, perhaps some dragon or something. It is difficult to discern. And if you tell me I am crazy person should go under the woods, I will do so.
I mean,
let's-
even without us telling you to wander into woods, you sometimes do that. So
That happens from time to time. Yes.
Well, let's let Layla have a look-see as to what's going on over there, and then we can make a decision from there.
Nothing wrong with gaining more knowledge.
Okay. Seems like the next thing you want to do is get to the scrying of it.
Yeah.
Anything before that?
No, I don't think so.
Well, totally guidance, Layla.
I measure her face, like the width between her eyes and the width of her eyes and the shape of her face. You know, I think round glasses would look really good on you, but do you have a preferred shape?
Yeah, but like Layla doesn't have human features, so
Well, she does.
She does.
I
Sure.
mean, kinda, but also
Do
weird.
you have a preferred shape, Layla? No. And I think gold would suit you best. So I'm going to make the gold frames and round glasses.
Are you there,
very
Ryan?
well. Yes, that sounds just fine with me.
Okay. I use some of the gold from my own stash and 2 of the gems that we have to make.
I mean, I have these
Rose
pieces if
color?
you want. I have a giant bag of gold pieces that I've never spent.
Oh, it's okay. You can just. It's for everybody. You don't need to pay me back. And I'll use 2 of the rose-colored gems, which I think quartz and maybe one of the other red ones, and make her some rose-colored glasses worth 1,000 GP, plus some
Very
extra gold.
Yeah, give me what works with one of your crafting checks there.
I have no idea.
Jeweler's tools?
It's jeweler's tools, and I'm proficient.
Yeah, so it's like
But what kind of-
proficiency. I think maybe your intelligence or wisdom
Or dexterity,
Dex,
depending.
Yeah,
yeah.
Dex should probably
I
work
think-
out well.
I think it should be charisma because I'm just selling it. Like, these look so good on you.
Right.
Aren't these amazing?
Someone is the one I'm the highest. That is right.
Yeah.
You are the creator and the salesman, unfortunately.
Yep. Yep. All right. What do you want me to roll, Matt?
I
So
would.
they're gonna look crappy. You're just gonna convince him they look good.
Yes.
Right.
Excellent.
Your choice. You could do Dex or Wisdom with proficiency.
Oh, let's pick the one I'm not negative in at least. Dex, and I'm gonna add.
I can
4
guess.
to that.
I can cast guidance on you.
Okay. Oh, it's not. Oh, come on, roll for me. Nope. Oh, there it goes. Oh, excellent. 2, 4, and I need to add a D4. Oh, come on.
Guidance doesn't
It's not
stack, right?
rolling.
No.
Okay.
Correct.
So 4, so 6.
All right, definitely not ones you'd want to wear all the time. You could put them on and then very carefully take them off. So you're like, they might fall if any amount of stress on these might make them go boom.
Well, it was a rush job.
She puts them on very carefully.
Yeah,
That-
little piece falls
they
off.
will-
She Tor gotta fix it on your face. Wait.
Wait, I have a bandage I can wrap around and hold that still for you.
I think I have mending. I do have mending.
Oh, it was never a thing to begin with for the mending.
No.
I mean, after they fall apart when I go to put them on or take them off,
Yeah, then it might
the
be.
mending might be helpful. But for now, not so much.
All right, so then let's see here. And so, what is it specific? What is the specific target of your scry here?
I guess I would go with just the town in general. If I need to be any more specific, I guess I would go with the town square.
Okay, so the town of Scarnfell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to get a good bird's eye view of what's going on there in general.
That's good. So, all right. In that case, you push out the senses of your glasses as you see now, as if looking through the sensor that appears above Scodfell. Here, there is what appears to be a partial swamp lake, seemingly dark, and things odd float within. Some of the lodges and homes, the wood itself seems to have almost aged quickly, rotted, wet. A slight bit of steam rising from the ground. Then, in other spots, ice covers entire lodges. And shoots up into large spires that have been hollowed out with what seems to be places of one could live, nearly small. You see creatures of ice and water move about it. And to the north of the city, you see large creatures of ice and snow, along with large white-furred creatures with almost goat-like horns, ape-like, seem to be digging, moving, excavating. You can see what almost looks like the top of an enormous tower that is made or roofed with draconic scales. Places where the frost and the humid swamp seem to meet, you see clashes of horrifying creatures, some almost made up of light that reflect off the ice. Others odd, almost mimicries of life, slowly moving, attempting to crawl out or find things. It's a strange war that seems to be fought. One in particular, almost leading, is dirt and dust that form an outline of a human, with two yellow lights that shine where the eyes should be, making war against the rainbow light. And then, more to the west and south, the frost and the swamp areas are nearly working together. You see them holding off an onslaught of trolls. At once strange other creatures. Several sets of horns. While this happens from the swamp, you can see long albino skinned creatures, large, with several tentacles and a single eye and mouth, with razor sharp teeth, move up. The large eye blinks as one of the trolls falls dead, their eyes bleeding. Seems to be a place of war on many fronts. Is there anything particular you want to try to see or find?
Suggestions? Comrades?
We just got the Mad Magazine version of what's happening on this planet. Like literally, like everything's canceled. The multiplanar war, albino skeletons and tentacles, and like troll. I got nothing, honestly. Like just this whole thing rocks to me like chaos.
Can you see what's going on at the Dragon Skull?
I can try. I'll try to shift my sensor towards in that direction. So I don't think I can actually move it.
You can't move it. So you can look up.
Yeah.
And you see additional points of excavation. And while more of the skeleton is revealed, there's also like doors that seem to have been revealed as well. But they're almost perfectly round, some 40 feet in width. You can see draconic writing upon them. So there's at once like ruins and the skeleton as well. That's on one side. The other side does seem to have the swamp-like substance, this blackness flow from it. So it's as if frost flows and winter flows from one end, and this humid black substance flows from the other, both out of the mouth. currently, it seems that at least out of the skull, it seems things are coming out balanced. However, as it is forming and going around, the sides are warring against each other, and they are gaining and losing ground. One could begin to overthrow the other.
So as of right now, nobody has an edge, but that could change. That could seemingly change at any second.
Out
A
of
minute.
the skull, there's no edge. Right now, the Black Swamp has a little more territory.
Right.
More at the village side.
But they're both wreaking havoc with the environment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let them fight it out and then deal with the winner after they're depleted.
I mean, there ain't much we can do at the moment anyway, so.
Mm-hmm. So we have a better understanding of the balance right now, but not how to influence it. And again, scrying is a long way from where we are, so we can see how it evolves, I guess.
In case the scry will end. So what would you like to do?
Brittany is going full on Mama Bear around the town and trying to like reinforce edges and like scout for places where we have mistakes or like places where we have gaps in our understanding. Like just like she's aggressively looking around the other edges of the outpost, the town, to see if there's some mistakes made and if there's some onslaught coming, where would it come from?
Alright. Sure, just trying to figure out the areas. But for your conversation or anything else you want to do?
Well, it seems like once Layla explained what was kind of going on, everyone felt it was a lost cause. Ezra doesn't necessarily feel that way, but I guess he is curious of what these creatures that he's heard about, where they could be from, like the horned ones or the ones that were unfamiliar to him when being described. If he can use the library to maybe glean any information or use the people that are some scholars there and see if they can look for some information on that. And because you said they were excavating and they were digging for something.
Yeah, give me a history check with advantage using the library.
That was.
I'll guide you to try to help.
Where is history? Where? Writing it up in here. What? Okay, I won. All right, 25.
25. Taking the descriptions that you have, you find several journals of dreams. And there's a name of a city that some had thought was buried beneath. Some even wrote they thought it could be the source of some of the power of the village. And some would write that they feel that the living enjoy the loss of the dead, of Vexenoth.
Sorry, gosh, I was muted. Was that like the name of the city, or that who like what they felt the power was coming from that they were looking for?
So I thought that was the city.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it might be something they might be looking for. Feeling.
Yeah, you'd be able to recognize it being a draconic name.
I knew that Gegazol was a draconic name, and the Dervizak was more primal name.
Durzevinox is draconic.
Is draconic as well? Okay.
Yeah.
And do we? Because I know that when we saw the crystal, one had like a more violet energy, and one had like more like crystal type like blue energy. Do we see? Did Layla see any of those energies like play out? I guess in the.
Yeah, it would seem to be that would be where like the swamp and the frost was basically.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And
Gotcha.
I would say some wrote there's some epic poems here about the dragon city of Vexenoth.
I guess after reading that, I'll go to maybe Layla just to clean their mind, and they're the ones who see. Did you know, Layla, that there's a possible dragon city under Scofell where some of the power might lie? You said some of those beasties were digging in the ground like they had to take a piss after.
No, I did not.
Or maybe you didn't say the last part, but they were doing some type of excavation.
Yes. I did not know that there was a city beneath it, though. Did I?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's very well possible that I'd wait this pathways or know someone who knows. Maybe we can get there and prevent everything from going haywire. I know I'm not on the majority of things, and everyone wants to kind of be done with it, but there's a reason that place was settled for so long and by the same people for so long. Most of these people have had to fight and travel from place to place, but not Scofell. It's different.
I mean, perhaps that's why I at least was drawn there. Perhaps that's why all of us ended up there.
And I know that's why I was drawn there. I was told someone understood my powers there, and I do believe fate is real. And there's a reason we all met there, and the people decided that we were best to lead them. Just feel terrible that the place that so many people sacrificed would be just forgotten and laid waste.
Eventually, I believe we are going to be taking it back, but for now, I don't know.
Sorry, there was someone at my door.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yes, the answer is yes.
And don't lie and say that doesn't pique your interest to make one. You've already got ideas, art department.
Probably half built, most likely. Yes.
I mean, in her mind, it's fully built already,
Right, and then
or at least half built mentally.
Right.
She's got plans already.
All right. I don't mean to make you say what you said again, but did you have like a summary of how you felt? I guess about it either way.
Not really.
Okay.
I get the only thing I really said was like at some point we're probably going to end up going back there, but I think we have a little bit of stuff we have to do in this area first.
And I would retort with, "Well, then, Layla, what do you think we should do? Because I don't think there's a lot of easy choices here. We have clans of people who want us to fight beasties of other worldly magnitude, let alone we just try to feed a hearth and ran into a void dragon. What is the easier option?"
The easiest option would be to just accept death, but I don't think that would be the wisest decision.
I don't think it to be wise either.
I think our best, at least in my opinion, would be to... We did say that we would help clear some of the beasties in that central area. Perhaps we try to uphold that part of our bargain.
Tell you what, I think you are onto something there, Layla, but can you at least humor me? I don't know if I mentioned this, but some of these beasties, the ones that are, I guess, not as celestial as some of the ones that we've seen, remind me of ones that were, I guess you can say, kind of created and raised in the Morgvar Islands. And I think they were sent here maybe to toughen you people up, but if we are able to make our way to the islands, not only could we possibly find out where my brother went, but also figure out how these beasties got here and maybe prevent them from being sent from now on.
That does sound like a good plan to me. Let's go kill some beasties and try to track them back to whatever or wherever they came from. Perhaps
Yes.
save your family.
Well, I don't know who exactly needs saving anymore. I think my sisters and mother are fine, and who knows where my father is, but my brother seems like he's having a great old time.
Well then, perhaps, okay, maybe not go save your family, go see your family.
And figure out what the hell is going on, yes.
Does anybody else have any thoughts on this plan? Or...
Well, family's
only-
important.
My only concern is that we're certain that everyone is safe here. I don't know if we should make sure that the area immediately surrounding the town is safe first, or maybe get rid of those annoying wolves who I just have a grudge against, or if we feel like we want to immediately proceed back to our original town. I agree that we must go back to the town and take care of this problem. I just don't know if that should be an immediate goal or if we have anything else we need to do first.
I think you're correct in that we need to make sure the villagers in the town are in relatively healthy shape. I think leaving them to fend for themselves is a terrible idea before we go off to Morbid or whatever this place is that they wish to explore. I think perhaps making sure the village is safe is maybe number one.
Good. So let me try to get this from you. Is as far as like the major thing you're looking to do is like trying to get Skodfell big on that?
It seems like everyone, a lot of people don't think we could handle that right now. I mean, I'm all for it. I'll go there tomorrow.
Right. So as opposed to following, like, so I guess what I'm trying to ask is if we're trying to say, yeah, like Skodfell's in the forefront of characters' minds, and then as we do these other things, you might find more things to potentially help with that. Like, is the idea to still get the forces to go? You're going to be doing these other things, but along the way, you're hoping to gather forces to get to Skodfell.
I would hope so, yeah.
I don't know for everyone else.
Yeah, sounds fine. I think that's what the plan was: is build up our strength a little bit, take back Skullfell after. So, basically, side quests. Then we'll come back to main quests.
So, what in the characters' minds are they feeling, or in your minds, do you feel like they need to go to Skodfell?
I guess for me, that's a hard question to ask because, like I said, like I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah, the ones that are being a little bit more like off put, right?
But like I think like I was trying to bring in like other clans and the people to help us, so that's like why I did bring up like the trades people in like Sionis and like those are just people that like I know like weren't necessarily happy where they were living, right? So like. Just like things like that. But if there's more things that we want to look into to possibly help us, whether it's those people going with us or whomever, right, could help us take back that land.
Yeah, I really like the idea of getting some more allies to help us take back the village. And I think in the process, to get to that point, we have to go actually help out and hold up our end of the bargain with the clans that we encountered when we first came to this area.
Right.
So
and what I felt like, at least from what I gathered from the story of Schofield, right, is that it seemed like like it was settled between people from different areas who were like roaming around and then found this place of power and made a deal. So it's like kind of like we're doing that all over again in a way, like getting people around who are displaced and like finding them a home of power, someplace that they can be comfortable. At least that's kind of like how I feel.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. I could definitely see that. So, I guess other.
Yeah, Mike, Lisa, I think we
Yeah,
were looking for your input on this.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of torn. On the one hand, I feel like we've spent so much energy getting here and exploring this area and setting up this new village that it feels sort of anticlimactic to say, okay, let's turn around and go back and deal with that. But, that does feel like that's sort of the bigger picture of what we were trying to accomplish. So, I mean, for me, it would feel more natural to try to get stronger and make that sort of our overarching goal, and maybe spend a little more time exploring around here and collecting more power and more allies. But, you know, if the consensus was to go straight to that, I thought that was a super interesting thing. I wasn't all that excited to leave the first time. I might have stayed and fought it out from the get. So, you know, I'm okay. But you know, I'm perfectly comfortable with going back there and taking on that too. In character, more, I'd just be concerned about the well-being of the town and the people.
Mhm.
And kind of on that, I feel like
Ryan, I just would love to hear from Lisa first.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And then, no, you're good.
I'm torn. I basically could do either one. Tor is torn. Yeah, I mean, when we originally encountered the entities in the Dragon Skull, you know, they were fighting for dominance, and they're both bad news. But it seems like what Layla was showing was that they're sort of a little bit in stasis right now, like that area. But it didn't seem like it was going to come swallow us all up imminently. So, you know, that's less of a concern. And I mean, Tor is transient, so she moves from town to town. So, you know, she doesn't necessarily have a strong inclination to go back and reclaim Skullfell for the sake of reclaiming that land. She's concerned that the people are safe, and they seem to be now. She's more concerned about the citizens and the people than she is about a particular place. So yeah, I mean, you could convince, you know, intelligence 5, you know, you could convince her to do either one. If the situation isn't that one of these things is about to best the other and swallow all of Asura, then yeah, let's fart around here, see what we can do.
Kind of going off of what Mike had said was I think if we want to feel more comfortable about our people being safe, that, because I feel like that's kind of been a big thing on his character, is very much prioritizing the safety of the people of the village. And I feel like we need to, because so far we haven't upheld our part of the bargain with the clans when we first came here. And that they have said that they are pretty much only letting us stay here under several conditions, one of them being that we help them with the monsters in the with the monsters.
We killed some things, you know. We stopped a big mauled under cavern thing from Awakening, okay?
But they weren't concerned about that. They're concerned about the monsters in the plains or in the middle there, in the central.
It's always the wins that you don't get the recognition for.
Yes. And so I think that if we can, you know, kind of basically finish getting them on our good side a little bit, just so that we don't have to worry about them coming and attacking our people while we're gone because we didn't hold up our end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is very likely, but it's not impossible.
Yeah. And I agree with that. I think, you know, like I said, you know, moving north, gaining power, then whenever we feel comfortable going up the mountain, right? I think that fighting these monsters could lead us to go to Morgvar Islands, which could be me to also, find, looking for my family, right? And
Yeah.
And I also think that, establishing the hearth was probably like some of the main things for protection, especially the boon that we got for the dragon, right?
Yeah.
So I think things are going to happen, right? But we were being attacked at our old village in the midst of when this started. So I think there are going to be attacks, but I think we definitely set up our villagers in a spot to be successful. I think we can continue to build up places here. If you guys want to spend time with that, I spent some resources, right, and things like that to do the library, right? If those are things that we want to look into to bolster up before we leave, I guess we can look into that. But that's some next step type things.
So yeah, I guess how I see it, the plan should be we should go kill some beasties, just to, because that was part of our bargain with the clans, and then we can kind of reset. Do we want to continue tracking down the beasties, or do we want to go back up the mountain and start working on taking that back? But I think right now what we should do is go hunt beasties.
Just for the record, we are totally going to that dragon city, but we're giving art department some time. That's what's going on.
Okay, well,
Dragon City is on the agenda long term.
Yes, I agree. I
made a note.
And I know from experience that if we give art department, enough of a heads up and, time to do it, the better it'll be for us when we get there. So,
Okay.
Wow.
All right, so trying to get these under some themes so that y'all can, so just it's clear in your heads, everyone's heads, what is being accomplished. So it seems like the theme of establishing the current settlement is very strong.
Right.
Yeah, seems like it.
Okay, so that's a big deal. Now, in that, and hearing these other things is important because it's going to help me. And again, I kind of said in the first part, like as I throw out breadcrumbs, you're piecing things together as you go, probably, or getting certain pieces here. But so establishing current tribe. So you've got the beasties, which is, giving your opponent your part of the deal. That also came with a little bit of a time limit. So in that, you'd want to be thinking, what are we doing to establish that a little further? Which could be anything with Sionis or some of the other cities if you wanted to work on all of that. So let me kind of organize it like this. Establishing current tribe. I've kind of got beasties, and it feels like Sionis might fall under that a little bit.
Okay.
I'm always down for a little insurrection.
Hitting up to the Morgvar Isles could be an expedition ultimately to... You would want to figure out like kind of what else you want to accomplish up there, probably.
Mm-hmm.
If you did want it to have to do with the current tribe. If there's... Are you trying to expand the tribe? Are you trying to unite the tribes? Are you saying, hey, we're all going to be together and we're going to take it? I don't know if you have more information or you need to get more information about this world playing through it before that.
I think the only thing I had learned in one of the sessions was that I felt like some of these beasts that I heard about were like beasts that were like cultivated and like bred and raised in Morgvar Isles and perhaps brought over here. But that's like the only thing besides like my family, and then seeing like the boat, right? The boat going north or whatever. So
okay. So in that case, it sounds if we does it sound like then we want to kind of have your characters move the discussion to what are the major outings and things we want to do to establish this and make it feel like a true working area settlement?
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I guess that's what a lot of people might feel.
Because
So,
some of
I
these
share?
pieces
So
could still come in to that
Right.
theme. It just might help to be like, here's the theme that we're going to be pushing our ideas into. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And is it like things like, you know, how like I don't remember if you were here, or Mike, or like things like the library I set up, like more like stuff that could help bolster like the, you know, the place itself.
No, that was late Pirates game, so we didn't see that.
No, no. I did it here as well. It was something else that, but there's like things that we could add here as well, like we're at the point, I guess, you know, anything from a barracks to an armory to arcane studies, gardens, you know, workshops, greenhouses, stables, training areas, trophy rooms, transportation circles. Like these are things that we can like add to our place at our level currently, to like, I guess, add like either defenses or like different things as well.
How did you want me to
You
kind
don't
of
want
want
to go find your brother?
No, no, that's something that we can definitely do, especially as we move north and take care of the monsters, and you know, perhaps head to Morgvar, right? But from what I hear, like some people like wanted to bolster the place right before we left for a extended period of time.
yeah, especially because I think that the campaign to take back the village will be a lot more of that. Like that's not going to be a, you know, we go up there, we fight for a day, and it's done. I feel like there's a lot going on up there, and it's going to be a slog because it also took us quite a bit of travel time to get to where we are.
Yeah.
So it's going to take us
Mhm.
quite a bit of travel time to get back to the village. Taking it back, I think, is going to take a while, and then there's the travel back out to here. So
Yeah,
I think establishing our kind of current mini temp village as best as possible is in our best interest. Does that make sense?
It can very much be as you're establishing the clan. These, whether it be backstories or these things with brother and all this other stuff, are sort of being moved forward at times through some of these other through the natural course of play, right? I think this is a lot of is getting that main focus for now, so that everyone's brains are there.
Yeah, Tor has a lot of projects that she would like to work on, and if she's in a stable place, she's got a list.
Yeah, and we'll still be going out, right, as we kind of get to this, like, as much as we have like, oh, you could put this in your village, there's still, you might need a component from somewhere or go to do something, right?
I put the list of the things, at least our level, that and I like, if that's something we want to go forward with, like if you want to look into what those things are specifically, you just let me know and I'll give you a snippet. So like for instance, I did the library like in our thing. It has like research properties and you can do different things with that like every week or so in game time.
Okay. So at this, so we want to kind of walk back into character and have your conversations about what to begin moving forward with.
Being in character is a novel idea. I think we should try it.
Indeed, yes. That's a very challenging concept.
All right. So if you're sitting here and you're trying to decide, seems like your characters seem to have come to wanting to either expand or make sure that this place is safe or long-term sustainable with the surrounding powers and all of that. Really establish a home as you're trying to solve these bigger problems, making sure you don't want these whatever dragon rises to run amok. You want to go through, but you want to do it from a bigger thing of strength and possibly growth. Where do you feel like y'all conversations would go?
I'll just open up very clearly from the top of battlements that I built from stone, looking down. Bormunder, I need your advice, honestly. I feel like there are blind spots in our strategy. I feel like there are places where we are not so strong. Perhaps your scouts know where we have the weakness, the weak spot, and perhaps near a river or park or something. Give me some idea where we might need to invest in order to be more protected against foreign army or perhaps angry other people.
Yes, I feel like we've been focused really on protecting from the weak spot where enemies from other realms might come by, but
Yes, the thinness, yes.
we don't know. I feel like our alliance with the River King is strong, and he's the one that sent us on this quest to get this mighty dragon. I think that we may have earned some goodwill with him, so perhaps we're safe from the river, but we don't really know about the other residents that might be around, and so perhaps we need to turn our attention to kind of a full encirclement kind of fortification to protect from all directions.
So among us, many valleys and rivers and crevasse, we do not have good map of these places. Do your scouts have ideas for what we should explore next in terms of knowing who our neighbors are? Because those neighbors we do not know make first range with fellows.
You have a good point. I know that I have a scouting party that is due to return. Perhaps they will give us news of what they have found on the frontiers.
I would love to know when they return. And again, we bring together the rest of the conversation with the elders, but I'm a little on edge because it's been too quiet for too long for me. Like in nature, going without being preyed upon is uncommon.
It makes me anxious just because everywhere we traveled on the way to here was filled with creatures of danger and hostility, and so I think we must assume that every direction we have not explored is potentially a foe that is waiting to make their move when they sense weakness.
All wisdom get heals.
If you are all comfortable,
do not sneak up on me, please. Please announce yourself before you show up on the battlefields.
Sorry, I just heard you, and I know that you all want to bolster the defenses and be comfortable with leaving this place for some time. But if we are able to establish a barracks, we could furnish and serve sleeping for up to 12 bastion defenders, and we can recruit orders to each facilities and different facilities and have them do different rounds and should keep
I think
most.
Perhaps the size of barracks is not the problem. Vermunder trains incredibly strong fighters, and we have produced good battlements to stand behind. But if we wander off somewhere, and they support themselves. No offense to Vermunder's training, certainly it's fantastic. But if we were to go out in some way for some weeks, do you feel as that maybe they are capable of standing with us?
These defenders in the barracks would. Yes, you can keep track
You are
through the
confident.
barracks, the amount of defenders, and you can even lose defenders and deduct them from your roster and Assign names and personalities to them, if you will. I'm trying to introduce something. Stop making it difficult for me, Will.
I'm just
Tor.
concerned, even with the training that we've given them, they are not to the level that we are. They cannot. There may be threats that are just too great for simple villagers, no matter how well trained.
True. Tor also wanders up to the battlements. Oh, there you are, Bormunder. Hi, Azariah. Hi, Brynja. I've been talking with the villagers, and my tent has been busier than ever. I've practically run out of dream catchers for all the nightmares people are having. They're very unsettled, and I feel that if we left so soon, that they would suffer greatly. They would lose confidence, and I feel like they need our steadying hand for a little while longer. I'll make more dream catchers and provide charms and sleep aids, but they need just a little more comfort.
Torhilda, when you say comfort and dream and sleep aids, mead is a sleep aid, yes?
Yes, for a little bit, but ultimately it's counterproductive.
No, okay. In order to protect their sleep and their dreams, what would you propose or suggest? We cannot sit here forever. We must go out for other greater prey at some point.
Yes, and I'm providing the comforts that I can with dream catchers and advice, but I think just giving them a little bit of time and letting them settle in and know that they can handle things. Just a little bit of experience that they can handle things in this new place and let them get used to it a little bit. It's not forever, but they're just not quite ready for us to leave permanently yet.
Well, permanently is a rough word too, because I feel like going off to conquer some objective is a short-term thing. Maybe
Yeah, short term is fine. But if we were to go all the way to Schofield again and try to address that, I feel like that would be a bridge too far for them. I feel like shorter missions would be bolster their confidence.
that is a very long journey. You're right. Yes, it would be unfair, unreasonable to leave them by themselves in this situation if we went that far.
At least so soon.
How do we sharpen the blade? How do we make them more clever?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person how to make something clever, but
Bermuda knows how to sharpen the blade quite well, but I think Azariah, perhaps, or maybe Layla, knows how to sharpen the troops, the people.
yes, I can bolster their confidence and provide healing that doesn't require Layla's grand skills. But
I would say special touch.
yes, Layla's special touch. But I can provide them the small things, the little comforts.
In the short term, in terms of like a shorter range foray, perhaps. And again, I apologize. My bare tooth is getting itchy. I have not eaten prey in the right way in a long time. What is nearby? Perhaps one of your scouts have told you that needs a little quelling of population, maybe some nearby hole that is a little overgrown with the population.
Don't you say deer.
I would never say deer.
Don't you do it. I'm talking to Bormunder.
No.
He's going to say it.
They are good training,
Nope.
You could stalk them through the woods and build
We have
your
a
skills.
family. We have fawns and a mama, and she has twins. And they're eating his flowers, and he doesn't like it. Too bad.
I am told you can also stalk the celery.
Another consideration is that several of us have formed bonds with powerful entities and obtained magical boons, things to bolster our talents. Perhaps we should seek out to try to find other entities so that all of us might have some boost before we tackle the challenge of returning home.
I do feel compelled to point out that not all of these great beings will be so kind or magnanimous with their powers.
Are you saying there is exchange required, something to be given, something to be received?
With some of them, yes. Some of them merely require kindness and friendship. Others, a bit more.
Well, given that I have one who anchors my soul, I would love to know if there are some you are aware of that require less, because so far for me, it's been an uneven exchange, but I am committed to continuing this process for now. Do you know of any who give away their powers for free?
I think you must always prove your worthiness to obtain any great power. None are given
Yes,
freely.
but the requirements for some are not as easy on one's, should not be so easy on one's conscience as others.
Little
Does that
roommate of
make
mine.
sense?
I will ask with less fluff, perhaps. Is there something you would like to ask or tell, or
No, just that the being that is coming for me,
right?
I feel would offer any of you quite a bit of power if
Right.
you
So you're
offered
advising
myself to them.
caution to us, perhaps. Like, let us not play more games. Yes.
You kind of cut out there for a sec for me.
I was saying, you're advising caution, perhaps. Let us play less games.
Yes. Yes. I say let's not jump at every chance for power necessarily right away.
Are you worried that we would betray you for power,
No.
Layla?
No, I'm worried that a being similar to the one coming for me will try to persuade you to be less moral than you are, if that makes sense.
I believe that all these things come with risks. You are wise to be cautious.
That is all I am. That is all I am cautioning, is be cautious.
Also wise to be cynical, to be clear. You have seen the rough side of this bargain, and we have not. So we should at least take.
I have not. I know this is a bit frustrating to hear, but it is just something I feel. I do not know, but I know. I wish I had a better explanation.
We have slept under the same roof for 2 years. I do not doubt you.
Torhilda often has these sorts of feelings that turn out to be messages from gods that are embedded in her mind. Perhaps yours are the same.
Yes and no. from the bit I've talked with Torhild about them, it is similar but different. Because to her it is more messages. To me it is a feeling or something that I know, not something that somebody else knows and has passed on to me. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
If it
Yeah.
doesn't make
Instinctive
sense, I
knowledge.
believe it is my failing and not yours.
Instinctive knowledge. It can be very powerful. Inherited knowledge can be very powerful.
Lizard, you need not doubt yourselves. You are correct.
So, have we decided what we are to be doing?
I think the general idea, the impression would be to look around for the next closest dangerous area or perhaps neighboring words, English, county, in common. County, yes, region which is unsettled. And if scouts say to at least verify we are safe by ranging the direction. And if I am wrong, just say I'm wrong.
I think that is true, and to forge alliances with any neighbors that we have that might be friendly to us. Much like we did with the river people. That may be useful to us yet.
And even knowledge of our alliance with the river people could be helpful for some others, not all, but some.
Yes, but as Layla cautioned, you must be careful. Maybe some would be offended by our alliance. We shall be careful who we reveal our secrets to.
I actually think Layla in particular is very useful in that way, in terms of looking forward or scouting ahead and helping us understand what kind of people we are dealing with in order to make negotiation or hide from. We should probably pick a first direction before we go exploring so we're not scattered to the wind. And also must always leave someone behind in village to make sure we are back protected. Yeah,
I think that makes...
let's leave the weird bubbly creature behind to protect village. And we can go under.
Yes, I have some projects I need to work on, so I can stay as well.
You don't have to, though. We could use your and your sister's blades if we encounter trouble.
Ah, that's true.
So, let's say we make preparations for the next day or two, and then we head out on a beastie hunt.
And I will consult with my scouts and see what they have learned of the neighboring areas. Perhaps there will be useful intelligence from some external plot device.
Amazing. Okay. So, speaking of which, I have compiled your scouts notes. So, because I figured that was coming. That was good because where your things were moving. So the major things, as far as that you're becoming aware of around your territory, look on the map. There is the city of Sionis is one that is always under turmoil, and there are they've simply said that there seems to be various worries about tensions between the missionaries from Vasselheim and the native clans actually getting out of hand.
And is the population of the city large?
It's fairly big. So it is. So Sionis is a place where a lot of the tribes and clans that maybe only could have as few as 2 people left who haven't gotten killed, up to maybe 30 or 40, seem to like congregate and make like an all clan town. And so there's a good amount of them. They form like different areas of the city, all around what seems to be almost a church state on top of that. That's not run by them, but is a foothold from, it seems, people from Vasselheim or those of the religions.
So that's an excellent place for us to gather information and find other potential allies. What about the wilds outside of the cities? Have there been any evidence of trouble or marauding monstrosities or anything of the sort?
So, the city of Yellen, they had gone, and your scout has come back white-faced, a bit terrified, and it looks like they've been on a forced march for a week. Their exhaustion looked like they nearly had died from pushing themselves so hard. As he comes and he tries to relay to you, I went to see Yellen, and I found them working, and I made my way, began to give our gifts. I was given a place for the night, and that is when the barkeep they reached up to grab an ale, and I saw they had no belly button.
We have met those individuals. We have met some individuals that meet that description in the past.
Yes. So I began to pay attention. And there were more and more. And I went to the graveyard outside of the settlement, and too many graves. The dates, the names, they don't line up.
DM, can you orient me? Is that town kind of in the direction of the couple that we encountered and the wolves?
They are. At great risk, go back to the map, and I'll not make a mistake again. So yes, so you had come down this purple line, and then essentially met with the tribes up here at the tip of the blue, and then proceeded south this direction. Right around here is where you met them, and Yellen is to the north.
Makes sense.
That doesn't surprise me. I thank the scout for bringing us this information, and I put my hand on his shoulder and heal him for a few hit points and advise him to rest and thank him for his service.
Thank you. The other scout reports. So say she will come back as she goes. Sir Belmonda, you asked me to look more at the trade route. If we needed to establish a path. As I went through the plains, I went quietly. There are horrible, monstrous things. But it's... As I got to the pathway or roadway itself, there was humanoids, bandits. They were attacking the tribes that tried to use it. Raiders, but vicious. And they didn't attack everyone. They were looking for specific things. It seemed they food supplies, but then crystals, what seemed to be old bark. I did not dare grow too close.
And by trade route, are we referring to the road between Yellen and Sionis, or?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we don't have things, nobody brings back reports of enemies or monsters really verging on the town, but we have on the outskirts a number of potential concerns. And so I report back and gather my companions and relay this information to them and remind them of the problem we had that we kind of bypassed near Yellen previously, and say that it might be even larger of a concern than we first thought.
When you say concern, you mean there is more probability these weird red wolf things are infesting Yellen?
I just feel like because of the connection with the no belly button people, that they may have turned a number of others and maybe are preparing something even more evil than waylaying travelers on the road.
So you're thinking like lines of again. Let's reach back to school child fairy tale, zombie or werewolf or vampire, or actually I've seen one of those. It's not actually. Yeah. You're thinking they're infectious, perhaps, and taking over their territory.
Yeah, it seemed clear in the past that they were able to kind of take over the minds of people, right? We believed that couple to have not wished to be controlled in the way they were, but they clearly were. And you combine that with the unusual number of graves in town, it makes me wonder if they haven't been turning them into zombies of some sort. It's not clear.
Well, I think the other great concern, and you pointed out yourself, is they did not know, belly button or not, that they were something wrong. There was some sense of we are not aware that we are part of this infestation and invasion, whatever you call this thing. But they can grow among us without us, or without them even knowing they're part of the problem. That is something else that is difficult.
Yes, I feel the strategy must be to root out the cause and get to these wolf creatures and prevent them from carrying on in this way. But we must assume that everyone they have turned will work against us.
Awkwardly, Brenya pulls up her shirt and shows her belly button. There is not always obvious proof, but there are ways, at least for most of us, to be relatively safe. I'm sure. Not entirely. But it would feel weird to ask the entire village, hey, show me your button of belly. It would be important to us.
Yes, perhaps we might seek to devise another test. Could be awkward.
Oh, I'll just make belly button rings for free. Everybody gets a free one.
Not
Mine up
everyone
here.
wants pierce. But
Having seen your craftsmanship with the Elton John glasses for Layla, I can't imagine anyone would turn them down unless they were some sort of belly buttonless creature. Do deer have a belly button?
They do. It's actually, yeah, it's just lower.
Okay. I'm going to have to start searching more animals. This is something I'd never even thought of.
If you'd like to talk about the anatomy of animals, I'll be happy to show you. But
I don't think cats have belly buttons.
They do.
They do?
They do.
Really?
More like small scar, but yes.
Come here, kitty. I gotta see.
They're furry though. Perhaps you can't find them.
Well, anything that grows in the womb, never mind. I will show you later if you're interested.
Unless it was hatched, it has a belly button of some sort.
So birds don't have belly buttons? So
No.
should we kill all the birds?
And lizards similarly, yes. No, kill the birds.
I'm gonna go inspect my pet cats right now.
Uh-oh.
They have
Wait, is Torhilda doing that or is Lisa doing that?
We've lost
Both.
Lisa, yeah.
I was unaware that Torhilda had pet cats, but okay.
Yeah, it's really Lisa.
There have been several people reported really in the last week seeing people like outsiders off the trail with a wagon or goods trying to sell or asking for a night to stay when the scouts have gone out or when hunting parties have gone out. And after everything, your clan has definitely developed xenophobia a little bit. Like they're very like they basically go, if people follow, they begin shooting currently because of this unknown land.
I'm okay with that as a standing order until we resolve this threat.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot over their heads at first, you don't have to shoot to kill right away. But.
Well, maybe we could talk about making friends instead of enemies. And I'm looking and I don't see a belly button.
Where? On your cat?
On my cat.
I've
got him right here.
Look a
All
little bit
mammals
lower.
have belly buttons.
Yes.
I don't see anything.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, buddy.
It's an indent.
How does your cat feel about this situation?
Well, he thought it was petting until he got annoyed by it.
Really? I can't imagine that.
This might be the singularly weirdest D&D moment I have ever experienced.
Nope.
Oh, not even close.
Yeah, probably not. Now I've thought of some worse ones, but it's up there.
To your point, Torhilda, if you need to make friends with animals that may or may not be real, I can usually just suss out to some degree whether or not they speak the language, as the joke goes. Right? You talk to wolves, you speak wolf, they speak wolf, you're good. But not in all cases.
But as I recall, we were quite taken in by the prior couple, and we didn't recognize the truth for quite some time.
Well, until we asked for a belly button, yes.
I didn't feel like we came into it knowing that was the test, but yeah,
Wait,
we did kind of.
Does Sprout have a belly button?
Mushroom will not have a button. That's not reasonable. It is not mammal. It is fungi. It grows entirely differently. There is no womb. It has no placenta. Never mind. Sprout will never have belly button. But never mind.
You could make one, probably.
But what is point? Good form?
I swear to God, Boris does not have a belly button.
If you look
I have
for-
links in chat for you.
I'm writing my cousin the vet right now.
Cats.com.
Oh, there we go. Cats.com. Cats.com has to be authoritative, surely.
It's
Much
in the
better
name.
than Wikipedia.
Or Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit, I don't totally trust that. Oh, but that includes pictures, though, so yeah.
That's why I put the Reddit up.
Must
I
be
will
because
say,
his
out
belly
of-
fur is so fluffy.
Out of character, real quick, I've been starting to think, I'm not entirely sure Layla has one, given what she
Right.
is technically, and how she is at the moment. She could give herself one, but I'm not sure if she instinctively made one originally.
Probably not.
This is awkward, Layla, but I think I'm going to have to kill you now.
Well, she hasn't. Nobody's asked to see her belly button, and she has not volunteered. And all it takes is 6 seconds, and she can give herself one. So
I think for people that we've known long enough, we're just going to have to assume they're good, you know?
yeah,
I trust you, Layla. With or without a belly button.
I'm sure once we establish that was going to be a pretty solid way of determining whether or not somebody could be one of those wear thingamajigs, she probably gave herself one.
Technically, dragons hatch from eggs, so I'm not entirely sure I have a belly button.
Oh yeah, I guess, do dragonborns hatch from eggs?
Yeah, it's unclear. There's
Is the
sort of
better
more,
question
yeah.
here.
Kind of depends on your own personal Dragonborn lore.
I don't think the player's handbook covers this.
Okay.
You got any links on that, DM?
This session has just gone completely off the rails. I love it.
I will
love
be
it.
honest, I have kind of forgotten what led us down this way.
I love it. I don't remember.
But
All I know is my cat doesn't have a belly button. I can't find it.
it has one. You just didn't find it.
I just can't find it.
Hey, this has come up on Reddit already.
Well, yeah, because that's reassuring that, somebody else has thought of this conversation before. And they decided to put it on Reddit.
I'm going Dragonborn, Lizard Folk, Wanty, and Turtles, no belly buttons.
Yeah, I think that's got to be right.
Frankly, Thrykeen are sort of iffy.
Yeah, I think Thrycreen probably don't have belly buttons.
That's what I was saying. Is that
insects, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think Layla naturally has it. Oh god, Matt's had to turn off his camera. Were you checking to see if you had a belly button there, Matt? I don't think Layla naturally had one, but I'm pretty sure after the discussion of it being a possibility, she gave herself one.
It's canon now. I say I don't have one.
Okay. Well, then I will have to return the same sentiment. I know this is a bit awkward, Bormundo, but I have to kill you now.
I understand. I'm not sure I trust myself. Although in the art out there, many Dragonborn have belly buttons, so this is troubling to me.
All right. So what's
Hang on. Is now about time to show my true colors?
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Why? To
Somebody's dropping some inspo so we can find our belly buttons.
It's just like, I don't know what y'all doing.
Is this an Arcana check? I don't know.
Like,
Is it a nature check? A medicine check?
I'm deeply troubled now.
God. Okay. Think we should try to get refocused. Oh, we lost him.
By like 1%, yes. 1%.
Oddly enough, it's acrobatics.
Uh,
That makes sense. Or just general dexterity, I think. I think if you're proficient in acrobatics.
okay, so let's how do you want
Are
to
you
take
gonna-
you have some information of what you want to do. I don't know if Azariah has anything, and there's also if there are projects you wanted to try to build some facilities that Azariah was kind of talking about, that is if you wanted to pick one or two. But you do have like kind of three things you know that are going on right now.
So to recap, just for shits and giggles, we have the town of Yellen, which has this weird no belly button problem. We have a scout coming back with opinions on trade routes. Some humanoid bandits or raiders looking for food crystals or maybe bark. We have this other thing with the outside sellers and the xenophobia. Lots of options, lots of things to explore.
Plus the other town, the Selena town.
Yep.
Brynja,
Sionis.
do you have any idea why people would want bark? That seems an odd thing.
There could be reasons. Depends what kinds of bark though. Like I don't understand which flavor of bark, and therefore I don't quite understand the meaning. Among druids, perhaps there is value, but for only special trees, like random bark from side of road trees, not necessarily.
Plus, what kind of traveler carries around bark? I don't.
Druids mostly.
It's an odd clue.
Hmm.
If you have bark, can it help you like to walk through a particular tree if you keep some bark from that tree or something?
I mean, in theory, yes, but like most bark that you would carry with you is either painkiller or hallucinogen, right? So there is this plant called willow, this big tree that when you chew bark, it makes you feel less pain. The other one makes you feel very crazy and woozy, but it is not common around here.
So these bandits might be trying to get high from tree bark.
I would not bet on that being their economy, perhaps, but it's possible.
On the surface, that seems less concerning than the no belly button town, but
Well, given choices, perhaps.
Well, I feel like we need to nip the xenophobia in the bud. That's just no good. But we need Nala. So when Nala gets back from her shopping, we need Nala to write some songs and help me, and I can talk to the people too about not being so afraid of strangers. Yeah, not being xenophobic. Yeah.
Well, but also like there's this weird split between xenophobe is a strange word for my those that are from magic and those are natural, right? So imagine you are a creature that can change shape by itself without being magical. Spells to detect magic will not work on you. You are unnaturally the wrong shape. A different shape, xenophobia, without showing as magic. Others look like magic because they're magic. We need someone to discern, some sieve to decide who is who. Otherwise, everyone is suspect.
Yeah, maybe we can work on some kind of detect magic thing. I don't know. Maybe Azariah can make something. He's smart.
He is that, yes.
Yeah, so maybe if we found just one of these people, like one, it appears that their MO is they pretend to be lost and they need a place to stay and they try to stealthily join your village. So perhaps if we could capture one, we could try to find a way to identify them more reliably than we have in the past. It sounds like my scouts have encountered a number of them, so they might not be that difficult to locate. But I don't know, what did we do last time? We put them in a zone of truth, which they willingly agreed to.
And then they refused to answer questions, yes.
And we quizzed them and we sort of worked it out.
As I recall, it was Hilda that asked the cutting question. I think perhaps when your mind is so focused on very few things, you're exceptional at finding out which is bullshit.
I can't argue with that.
That is expensive prick for many people.
We don't know if they were willing participants or if they were coerced or even made.
We suspected they were willing because they refused to deny that they had involvement. If you'll recall, they wouldn't ever agree that they were coerced or anything. You got the sense that they were somewhat cooperative. They were cleverly evasive.
That's true. Yes, they are very clever, but they were not outright hostile. They were just trying to set us up. And so maybe now that we've demonstrated that we're not so easily fooled, they will stay clear of us.
Well, didn't we? I mean, we thought that their plot was they basically were a homing signal to those that controlled them, who would then come and attack, right?
Yeah. So I think we don't let anybody new in the village without a thorough vetting, but we don't need to be like shooting at people we meet on the trail unnecessarily.
They only did it if they were followed when they were asked not to, is what I had. Just to perfectly get that.
Yeah, I think if they try to follow
fair.
my scouts back to camp, that's a proper military discipline. I don't mind warning shots before they attack them, but my scouts cannot allow themselves to be followed back to our home. No matter how much you may love your fellow man.
Well, that's fair, but maybe we could send someone with the scouts who's good at talking and talk to people.
What direction would you propose we go out and push on? Like, would you rather go see in the direction of Sionis or Yellen or somewhere out in the Great Unknown? Like, what space would we next occupy, or at least try to make safe?
The two that interest me most, I don't know that I'm in charge of what we should do, but I liked the going to the big city and learning more there, because I feel like that just connects us to everything that's happening. And the belly button werewolf thing, I've had a problem with them from the beginning. I really don't like them.
Well, I wonder if some of the people of Sionis might not have information about Yellen. I mean, Yellen would be a natural trading partner for them. They're right on the same road. So people must go to and fro. I wonder if they have some information in Sionis about it.
I agree. If there's been upheaval there, surely they must know something about it.
Right. So if Yellen is suspect, then Sionis should have some idea about this, yes?
I think you're right.
I would expect so. People love to gossip. How could you not at least get rumors?
Well, cat dolly button aside, I think the trip to Sionis may be worth it, just to ask about the people from Yellen, perhaps. But again, we should.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot more cats that we can look at to see if they have belly buttons.
Do you intend to examine all of them or just some?
As many as I can.
Right. Yes.
Be careful, some tabaxi will take offense if you try to look at their belly button.
The ones that are willing to trade the coin for merch?
They perhaps would not mind.
Perhaps it's cost.
If you pay them appropriately.
So I think the suggestion perhaps is we put together a trading group for Sionis and try to make friends perhaps and ask Sionis people about the Yellen and if they are all belly buttonless freaks. I mean, some sort of unusual breed of humanoid.
Perhaps I can find some better armor in town as well.
You have plenty of. Do you need more armor? Seriously, you're like shiny, glistening rock.
One is never sad to have better armor.
Shopping is always great. Plus, we have a lot of money. How did we get so much money?
Don't say so loud, please. If it makes Bormunder bristlier, shinier metal man, this is great.
I've been polishing this armor, but it just doesn't shine up as well anymore.
Would you like me to use fire? Would that help?
That's a good point. Maybe I can breathe fire on it.
Oh, are you tarnished, Bormunder?
I am a little in my joints where, like my elbow especially, has got a
Here,
little
let me
bit of rust.
fix you. I use prestidigitation. You're so messy. I use
There are also-
prestidigitation and clean them up.
There's spots in his undercarriage that could use the work.
Yeah, the
He's gonna
blood
have to
just
take care of those himself.
the blood just pools in the joints somehow. It's quite difficult to clean. I thought it might make me quieter if it was gummed up with blood, but it didn't help at all.
The scraping noise is obvious.
All right. So is the idea that you wanted to try to get to Sionis?
That sounds like it. Layla or Azariah, do you have any guidance on this that you would rather do?
Yeah, man. I mean, I thought y'all wanted to bolster the village before we left, so I'm just going in for the ride.
I think the question is like, how would
And
we
we could
both
do that too. Yeah, we could do that
That's
too.
why I sent that list of things there, and asked you guys like if you were interested in anything. I can send you
Yeah.
some snippets.
I don't understand the list, but I'm making a pub.
Yeah, in level 13, you can do that.
We might need to get some brewers. We need brewers. We might have to buy brewers supplies.
Yeah. So I think the Sionis
Yeah.
was because there's these threats, because there was the threat of these creatures closer to the town. Right? That was how they were bolstering things up a little bit, is where I think we went there. So, all right. So people are wanting to pick, is that listed in the Discord or the?
Yeah, I didn't see it until now.
I put it in
It's-
handouts.
It's in handouts in the
Okay.
Discord.
I don't understand any of that. We have to pick something from the list that we want to do. Okay. Well, I'd do.
You don't
me and
have
Nella would
to.
probably do a garden or a greenhouse
Yeah,
or a workshop.
yeah. I mean,
I'd do
I was probably
those.
gonna.
Oh, a stable. We got to do a stable. I thought we had a stable.
I mean, I kind of figured, we could each pick one that we would be working on.
Sure.
Figure that makes sense.
I'd probably be good at a stable because of my horse connection. I'd probably be good. Me and Nala would probably be good at a greenhouse or a garden for Sprout.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
she wants a library. I promised to help Nala build a library, and she was going to teach me to read.
We did a library already. That's
Okay,
why I
and then
mentioned
she's going
earlier.
to teach me to read.
Well, I think maybe the best way to do this is kind of we each pick one, and then, that's what those are the buildings we'll end up having in our area, and then maybe going forward we can add others. But that sounds good with everybody. Kind of
Yeah,
we
these all
pick
sound
one.
fun. Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess because previously I'd talked about my character doing gardening stuff and picking flowers and stuff like that, so she probably would have either a garden or a greenhouse.
Yeah, just make a spot for Sprout in the corner.
So yeah, like some things you can do with a garden are things like you can have like different types, like a decorative, food, herb, poison. I sent the link as well if you want to look at it, but they do different things for you there.
Yeah, generally the level 9 ones have a little bit more oomph to them.
Yeah, the garden's level 5, the greenhouse is level 9.
Yeah.
I want to make a gemstone workshop.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
so
gemstone laboratory, one of those.
Probably works out because you have to have the expertise and you have it.
Laboratory doesn't require expertise.
Yeah, but they do different things, right? So
yeah,
it depends on what you're trying to do.
Workshop sounds more like what Tor would do with her crafts. Yeah, for a gemstone workshop, because we have all those gemstones.
I mean, eventually, if we ever get to level 13, I'd be wanting an observatory, but we're not there yet, so.
Unless we don't have a stable. We have to have a stable. How can we not have a stable?
These are some of the things that you can get, like the workshop can get you.
I mean, can we assume we just built a stable when we got horses? Or do we have to specifically?
I mean, having a place where it's an actual stable and having a place where you just put them up are two different things, right? So
letting them shit in a place is not a stable,
right? So I don't know how much time we put into that, I guess, endeavor, but.
Well, I'm in charge of the horses, so I guess I'll have to make a stable first, and then I want to work on the workshop.
Tell you what, I will take the stable, you take the workshop.
Okay, fair. Thanks, Brynja.
Cheers.
You're very good with animals, too.
I am, we speak language, yes.
You're good with more animals. I'm good with horses. You're good with multiple animals.
I speak squirrel. Obviously, something is wrong with me, clearly.
That's so amazing. What do they have to say?
Very little, but very fast.
They spend a lot of time examining each other's belly buttons, I've seen.
Yes, very much. They refer to each other as happy tree friends, which I find very confusing.
Yeah, I shared some of the stuff that those things can do.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. We should call each other Happy Tree Friend.
Yes, we should do that. Yes.
No.
Okay,
no.
So I just want to write what each person's doing down real quick. So I'm doing the greenhouse. Brynja, what are you doing?
Stable, I believe.
Stable.
Yeah, I'm buying us the stable.
Okay. Torhilda is workshop.
Yeah, what do I have to do that?
Right now we're just making plans.
Okay, yeah, just tell me what I need to do for it.
As Azariah, what one are you
already
doing?
did something a while ago. The library.
Library?
My contribution.
Okay. All right. Bormunder.
I suppose I'd go armory.
All right. So then we just have Nala and Fire's character.
I think Fire has fled.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a shame.
Yeah. Schedule things.
All right. So we've got an armory, a stable, a workshop, a greenhouse, and a library.
Okay, can you make sure that gets in that Discord for me, please?
I'm
Yeah.
sure Nala would like a music hall or something like that
Yeah.
if there's something. Are we limited to this list? I feel like a
Yeah.
music hall or an auditorium is important for the
I'm like,
people.
okay, if somebody wants to homebrew something, looking at it and make something,
Yeah.
more.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
based on what we have right now.
I bet Nala would want something like that, like a music hall.
Yeah. Because one of the big things this does, the way this system works, is as each week goes by and you issue these orders, it also can generate for your character a kind of magic weapon of their choice. Is part of what goes on, and so it's a double mechanic type of thing. So every time you use it to like do its stated purpose, you get points, and then eventually you can spend those points to get something cool for your character. So, which you guys would be looking at the points of 20 and 70. It's like probably 70 for the big one.
So.
Very cool. All right. So, and those things like the armory definitely are making things more secure. Okie dokie. So, all right. So with this, then, I want us to be clear. As these things are happening, to maybe get some of the facilities and get what you may need to, Sionis is where everyone's like set on kind of exploring.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay. So, yeah, so the idea being the theme is bolster, excuse me, bolster and make our area strong by eliminating threats and making our, and like actually improving the defenses and such things of our area. That goes along with potentially killing huge threats of creatures that you had agreed to do so because of the tribes. And so, but that is like sort of the big deal is really making that feel very, very safe. And there's not threats nearby, unconquered by you. Does that sound right?
Yeah, clearing territory, like making sure that the things around us are safe for the village for now so we can range out further.
Cool. Very good. And so in the future sessions, we'll keep that in front of us because, again, you may find clues and different things for some of the other big deals, but we know we're sticking kind of in that little realm a little bit. That's where we're going. Very cool. In that case, anything before we would end for the night?
Nope.
Nope.
All right, then we'll take it there, and we can start hardcore with some fun things next week, and get right into the insanity. Everyone watching, thank you so much, and be a good person and check your cat for their belly button. See ya next week.